Hey there, and welcome. Are you ready to test your nature smarts? I sure hope so, because we have a really fun challenge for you today. Let's see what you know. Okay, here's how it's going to work. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions back to back. After the second question, I'll pause for 5 seconds, just to give you a little time to think. Then we'll go through the answers together. Simple as that. You ready? Let's get started. For our first round, we're diving into the incredible connection between plants and the places they grow. All right, a nice easy one to get us started. What does it actually mean for a plant to be natural vegetation? And for part two, what are the two main things that decide what kind of plants you'll find in any given spot? Okay, your 5 seconds starts now. Time is up. So first off, natural vegetation is basically all the plants, trees, and grass that grow all by themselves with zero help from people. And what decides what grows where? Well, it all comes down to two big things: the climate and the physical features of the area. It's all nature. Okay, for this next one, I want you to picture a really hot, dry place, like a desert. What kind of tough plants would you see there? And now, how can you spot the difference between something growing wild and something a farmer planted? What's the biggest clue? You've got 5 seconds. And we're back. So in those hot, dry areas, you'll find incredible survivors like hardy shrubs, cacti, and succulents. They're all amazing at storing water. And how do you spot farmed crops? Well, the dead giveaway is the structure. They're usually planted in really neat, straight rows. All right, let's totally switch gears. We're going from dry heat to a place that's hot, wet, and super humid. What does the plant life look like there? Now here's a tricky one that connects some dots. The Fynbos region has its own unique plants, but it's also perfect for growing grapes. Why? What do they have in common? Think about it for 5 seconds. Let's check those answers. In hot, wet places, you get a dense, forest-like vibe, with tons of tall trees growing really close together. And the reason grapes and Fynbos can be neighbors, it's because they both absolutely love a climate with wet winters and dry, hot summers. The perfect combo. Okay, last set of questions for round one. We're talking about a super resilient kind of plant life here, one that can handle pretty much anything. And for our second question, you know those massive baobab trees? Well, those giant trunks are for more than just looks. What are they storing inside? Last 5 seconds for this round. And the answers are in. That incredibly tough vegetation that can handle heat, wind, and fire is Fynbos. And those amazing baobab trees, they store huge amounts of water in their trunks. That's how they make it through those long, dry winters. So cool, right? You did an awesome job in round one. For round two, we're going to zoom in and take a trip to one of the most famous landscapes on Earth. Let's go to the savanna. So, these huge grasslands go by a couple of different names. What's another really common name for the savanna? Okay, and what about the weather? What are the seasons like out there in the savanna? You know the drill. You've got 5 seconds. Let's see how you did. Another name for the savanna is the veld. And the climate? It's a place of big contrasts. They have hot, wet summers and then cold, dry winters. It can get so cold you'll even see frost. All right, let's keep this tour going. If you're standing out in the savanna, what's the one plant you would see for miles and miles? These massive open spaces are super useful. Can you name 2 different ways people use the land? Take 5 seconds. Okay, let's see the answers. The most common vegetation out there is, of course, grass. It's everywhere. And as for how people use it, 2 big ways are for farming crops like maize and for creating huge protected parks for all that amazing wildlife, like lions and giraffes. This is it, the very last question of the quiz. The savanna is just packed with all kinds of animals living together. How is that possible? What's the big secret? Give it your best shot. 5 seconds, go. And the final answer is, it all comes down to food. There is just so much food to go around for everyone. Whether you eat plants, meat, or a bit of both, there is something on the menu for you. That's what lets this whole incredible ecosystem work. And that is a wrap on our Great Nature quiz. You did an absolutely fantastic job. I'll leave you with one last thing to think about. The next time you go outside, take a look around. What kind of natural vegetation do you see growing right where you live? Thanks so much for playing.